24. Yes, and of course, check your time now. It's 7:02 a.m. here in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. Everyone, welcome to our own side of the show. Okay, let me call it our own newspaper review. We call it front page review. I say that always. Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. Welcome on board, everyone. And of course, I've got plenty of stories for you this morning. I'll be flipping through through several newspapers to give you great information that you need this morning, because information is power. Yeah, you need that information this morning. So I'm gonna be touching this day newspaper, Daily Trust newspaper. I will be touching on Punch newspaper, also Guardian, Vanguard, The Nation, Daily Post, and of course the Sun newspaper this morning, to give you just those information that I promised you this morning. So can we roll, everyone? Okay, let's go. All right, we'll begin this journey from This Day newspaper. This beautiful morning, 7:04 already. Rivers local government crisis, showdown looms. Armed group vows to sack council chairman. Tinubu's reforms meant to refocus economy for sustainable growth, says Kwara governor. And there we have again a new report says Nigeria's liquefied natural gas expansion drive faces severe future risk. Okay, let's move on quickly now. To some other stories here. The big one here I gave you earlier, and I would repeat it again. Rivers LG crisis, showdown looms. Armed groups vows to sack council chairman. And of course, let's quickly leave that newspaper, This Day newspaper this morning, and get to Daily Trust. Of course, trust Daily Trust for some good stories alongside. On sacrifice now, lead by example. Nigerians reply Tinubu. Lead by example. Nigerians reply Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All right. Below the nameplate there, Daily Trust newspaper is where we are right now. In Daura, Katsina holds Saladoba. Exactly. And let's quickly touch on some other stories now. SGF felicitate with Muslims on Salah. And of course, we have another one here. Reps Minority Caucus urges citizens to remain resolute. On new presidential jet, Obi urges federal government to focus on alleviating Nigerians' suffering. New presidential jet, Obi urges federal government to focus on alleviating Nigerians' sufferings. Ganduje, Sanwo-Olu orders to launch APC's Enterprise Development Program. Oyo Poly, Mascom alumni to mark 20th anniversary. Okay, let's leave Daily Thrust and let's get to the Punch newspaper. Always punchy with great stories, great headlines here. The big one below the nameplate here, on import duty, federal government summons 80 private jet owners over operating papers. Federal government summons 80 private jet owners over operating papers. And to some other stories now. Senate to receive supplementary budget July. That is, I think, next month, right? Okay. Edo PDP asks Philip Shaibu, you remember? Asks Philip Shaibu to resign over support for the All Progressives Congress. Abducted MD, others still in captivity as rescue efforts continue. Still on the Sun newspaper this morning, 7:07 a.m. Man hacks wife to death over alleged extramarital affair. Presidency, Obi clash over new presidential jet. That story, yeah? It's okay. Now, on cholera outbreak. Fear of school outbreak rises as pupils resume. 3-year-old boy missing during Salah celebration in Lagos. Suspect held as 2 men stabbed lady to death in Abuja. And let me see if I can quickly touch on some other political stories here. Abia APC crisis. On Abia APC crisis, Assembly candidates seek Tinubu's intervention. I am watching over, not controlling Rivers affairs. That is coming from the governor, Fubara. And of course, Kwara holds local government election September the 21st. Okay, to some more stories now. Family accepted Abiola's death, June 12 election annulment as God's will, says brother. Again, family accepted Abiola's death, June 12 election annulment as God's will. Governors strengthening grip on states through local government control. It's coming from an ex-minister there. Money won't determine outcome of Edo governorship election. That's coming from a local government chair. It says money will not determine the outcome of Edo governorship election. Okay. Twists and turns of local government labor's protracted minimum wage negotiations. Well, it's something you would want to read out. Okay, just go there and catch what is really going on there. But if I have a little time, I would also touch on it. On Democracy Day, Nigeria's unity can't be traded. That's coming from the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And let's touch on the last one, and we'll leave the Punch newspaper this morning. 7:09 is the time right now. The Labour Party chairman accuses INEC of mismanaging 2023 elections. Labour chairman, or Labour Party rather chairman, accuses INEC of mismanaging 2023 election. Okay. The Guardian is next. And to this one here, though it has to do with sports, but I want to touch it first. Super Eagles may get new foreign coach this week. That's a report we're getting. Exactly. And Lagos engages stakeholders, seeks support for innovation bill. Cybercrime Act 2015 is being used to harass journalists, says Jedokun or Jedokun. It says cybercrime 2015 is being used to harass journalists, says Ojedokun. And on cholera now, cholera outbreak. Identified strain in state highly aggressive, contagious, warns Lagos government. Identified strain in state highly aggressive and of course contagious, warns Lagos government. Policies and sustainable peace in Delta State. Well, is a piece you can read up. It has to do with Delta State. And let's come back to Lagos, and Mile 12 Market is where I'm taking you to right now. Mile 12 Market chairman links high cost of tomato, pepper to insecurity and others in Nigeria. Okay. Lukman Abdulrazak, others score Tinubu's administration on economy promises. Okay, let's touch on some other stories. The Guardian is still here. Tinubu has failed Nigerians. That's coming from a cleric. I guess you want to know who is saying that. You can grab a copy of the Guardian newspaper to get more, as regards that story. Police arrest 3, recover firearms, ammunition, motor batteries in Enugu. Let's leave the Guardian quickly and get to Vanguard newspaper this morning. It's a front page review on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The big story here: Nigerians struggle as high drug prices fuel health crisis. Cholera strain in Lagos highly contagious, Health Commissioner says. And of course, Nigeria confronts its worst economic crisis in a generation. Is a piece you would want to read. Oyetola expresses commitment to zero piracy in maritime domain. On cost of living, household reduce consumption expenditure. On extreme heat now, Nigeria loses pilgrim, cautions against flaunting Saudi's directive. Nigerians struggle as high drug prices fuel health crisis. One will wonder how much Nigerians buy drugs now. We'll get to touch on that story though. Yeah. We must focus on charting roadmap for Nigeria's development, and that's coming from Edo State Governor Gordon Obaseki. NIMET predicts 3-day thunderstorms and cloudiness across Nigeria. 3 days. 3 days. Please watch out for it and make sure you are okay, safe, okay? On kidnap now, families of Lebanese nationals rebuff police intervention. Let's take two more. Population census, too sensitive to be rushed. And that's coming from the federal commissioner. It says population census, too sensitive to be rushed. And the final one here, Nigeria confronts its worst economic crisis in a generation. Let's quickly touch on the Nation newspaper this morning before we get to speak with Rufai Hosseini. Yeah, Murtala Muhammad Way, not renamed after Shoyinka, says federal government. Murtala Muhammad Way, not renamed after Shoyinka, says federal government. And on court, Employee Compensation Act doesn't include negligence claims. Ibadan urges our people to unite. FUBA replaces 23 Rivers Council bosses. Whoa, okay, that's good. And let's touch on the last one here. On Emir crisis, presidency dismisses Kwankwanso's Kano alarm, and then Tinubu to attend Ramaphosa's inauguration in South Africa. And in Kano, let's touch on these daily newspaper quickly now. Will resist state of emergency. Kwankwanso accuses Nigerian government of causing insecurity. And still in Kano, on Kano Emirate now, why I ordered the arrest of Ado Bayero after the dethronement of Governor Yusuf. Yeah. And then there is this big one that got everyone talking. Obasanjo visits Nigeria's First Lady 48 hours after wearing Tinubu cap. Oh, I can't wait to talk to Rufai. Really. Okay, let's touch on the last one, then I get to talk to him quickly. Presidency on the fire. That is the Sun newspaper is here now, everyone. 7:15 a.m. Presidency on the fire over new presidential jet. And of course, Kwankwanso attacks federal government. APC says they are attempting to create new breed of Boko Haram insurgents in Kano. All right, this is the front page review on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Let's get to talk to Rufai Hosseini quickly. A very beautiful morning to you.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
God bless our audience. Yeah.
Yes. First, number one is I just can't wait to talk to you about this. Obasanjo wearing Tinubu's cap, and of course, the former president visiting Oluremi Tinubu. I mean, what's really going on in your own opinion?
People have a right to be able to visit whoever they want to visit and wear any other cap they want to wear. So that's life, that's politics, and I don't see any big deal really about all these things. So, I've been seeing all of these pictures and all of that. At the age of 80-something, has a right to make his own decisions and all of that. So I don't really see it as a substantive matter. And in the what's the call of Salah, he has the right to be able to visit anybody he wants to visit. So,
but people are reading meanings to it. Especially now that Nigerians queue behind Obasanjo to at least, speak to the federal government. And now you're seeing the same man going to pay homage or visit, so to speak, to these people. It's somehow.
I mean, you can be in disagreement with somebody or an agreement with somebody. That's the way life goes back and forth. So if it's an agreement to go visit the Tinubu for Salah, That's the way life goes. I don't read any meaning to it. For me, things I will read meaning to are the things that affect us real time. Things like the fact that 21 billion was spent on building a presidential palace at a time where Nigerians can hardly eat, and things like the fact that they are talking
Things like
about
the presidential jet, Abi.
yes, and the fact that people are hungry, and the fact that President Tinubu has just been telling us be patient, be patient, be patient. We are not seeing any signs. There's no improvement. Last year he was saying, "No, we are not 1 year in office." Today is 1 year in office. They say be patient. So we are looking forward to 2 years now. So why we the patience people go through? People are hungry. People are sad. People are crying. People are dying. People can hardly have meals a day. I mean, I think these are more substantive matters than the Obasanjo wearing a cap or something and all of that. So, I mean, these are more
Okay.
substantive matters.
Let's
And let's be realistic.
let me take you to Edo State. Your friend has been asked to leave the All Progressives Congress. Edo State PDP has asked Shaibu to resign over support for the All Progressives Congress. Resign.
Yeah, it should leave because that's the party activities. Let us do ourselves. If he's openly declaring support for the what's it called, the PDP, I mean the APC, then also he must be able to hit his chest. And a couple of other people too to leave. I think there was a guy on air that came to. I think Gaddafi something. There are many of them in the APC. I feel it's even disgruntled. I want to leave. So, I mean, politicians don't have an address. So I don't think that's a big deal. Shaibu thinks that's where his bread is buttered because he couldn't get the ticket and he was thinking that by line of succession it was going to be the natural succession to Obaseki. But since Obaseki is now saying he wants Aswe and the game is up, so he wants to support an opposing team, that's just it. So I think it's just fair for him to leave with his full chest.
And these other story here as regards Nigerian population. The population census. The commissioner is saying that it's too sensitive to be rushed. Nigerians have been talking about these census for a while now. Why hasn't been?
With due respect, what's the sensitivity? This was the census that they had imported most of the equipment to come and do. In fact, President Buhari, I don't even know why he left it. He would have done it after the elections. There was no biggie about it. The last time we had census in this country was 2006. 2006 to this time. So how do we plan? And that's why we're a nation that we can't effectively plan for our people. We can't plan for resources. We don't have empirical data and all of that. And it's not a big deal. It's only in Nigeria that census is a big. Recently, America had their census. Did you see any political proclivities to it? Because it's something that people benefit politically from. They want to also make figures slant in their favor. That's why census have become a very big deal all of a sudden. And it's become a politicized system. Census now become another election.
He even said that the exercise would have failed, the integrity test, considering the agitation that usually accompanies such exercise. It would have failed the integrity test, according to him.
I beg is because we have not grown to the point where we know that census is just another way to be able to plan for the future, but we take it politically because we want to gain more. So it's the people that we should talk to, and we should talk to also the politicians to stop skewing and causing disaffection amongst the people. That's the pure and simple part of it. It's supposed to be a big deal.
Okay. In Rivers State now, Fubara has replaced the 23 Rivers Council bosses. He has replaced them. That's information reaching me from the Nation newspaper now. Replaced them. All of them. 23 of them.
So I thought they were going back and forth at caretaker. And also, I will have to say this because of the impending mayhem in Rivers. All those boys that are trying to foment trouble, please let peace reign in front of the local government. The local government chairman are saying because Martin Amahule faction has said that they can stay extra 6 months, but they are saying that yes, they can stay extra 6 months.
What is your hello? Are you there? Oh, I think we're having some network glitches, right? Even INEC said they face them. So who are we? Okay, I wanted to just get his opinion, on Tinubu attending Ramaphosa's
Hello?
inauguration. Okay, yes, welcome back.
Go ahead. I can
Yeah,
hear you. Yeah.
Tinubu is gonna be attending Ramaphosa's inauguration in South Africa, and a couple of questions we want to hear from you as regards this.
Again, he has the right to go. South Africa is a. I don't even know what to say about South Africa because they were supposed to be a friendly nation, but they've not treated us well after all the help we helped them during the apartheid and the fight for independence struggle. I mean, Nigerians remember the good old days where students in schools used to donate money to the South African struggle here, and we took it head on. But they have not reciprocated that love and that goodwill and felicity we sent to them. But Ramaphosa got under very dire circumstance. He's getting in at the time where he has to do a deal with the DA, the Democratic Alternative, which some people say is a very white party, and because he couldn't get the majority. So Ramaphosa has been able to fritter away all the goodwill the ANC had since 1990. And he's struggling as a politician. And there are dire consequences here and there as regards actions and inactions of Ramaphosa. So it's not going to be a walk in the park for him. The DA is definitely going to have a good grailing of Ramaphosa at a time like this. But I think lessons we can learn from South Africa. I think the most important lesson we can learn is the fact that, see, if you don't do well as a leader, you should be voted out. That's just it. And Ramaphosa at some point felt he was on top of the world, but today the voters have shown him otherwise. Anyway, there are still going to be protests in South Africa today because most people are still protesting the result of the election. And some of the other alternative parties thought we were going to do a deal with the likes of the DAs of this world and other, with the MKs of this world and the EFF of this world and other political parties. But that was not to be. They did a deal with the DAs.
Okay.
So a lot of back and forth in South Africa as we speak.
All right. Before I let you go, let me just let's touch on Kano. What is happening in Kano State? The leader of the Kwankwansia movement, Rabiu Kwankwanso, was accused the government of Ahmed Bola Tinubu of compromising Kano security by their refusal to take away heavy operatives, guarding the deposed emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Adubayero. Kwankwanso also accused the federal government of attempting to create a new breed of terror group and insurgents in northern Nigeria.
See, the Kano impasse is bad for Kano. The Kano siege, I call it. The Kano camp because there's some eerie silence in Kano as we speak. There are two emirs. It's never, I don't know. Maybe Kano historians should tell me. I don't think it's ever happened before that there are two emirs sitting in different palaces in Kano at a point in time. The case filed in court, I think that's over. So what's the solution to the problem? We've not been able to get a solution. For the first time, Durbar was tempered. Durbar used to be a big festivity after the what's it called period. Just like we too, we have a culture here called the Ojudioba in Ijebu. After the Salah festivities, what we call Ilea. So let's be realistic, and we can't just continue to allow this festa. Our negotiators talking to both of them. Who will accede to the other one? Who would mediate among those two people?
Okay.
This is already in Gida Rumfa, the palace. Ida miles away. And I was hearing in another interview that the other day that Sanusi was saying that very soon he was going to go back to London to finish up and do his graduation for his PhD, which I knew he was doing a PhD in what's it called? In I think Islamic law and jurisdiction of some sort.
Yeah. So
it has to be said, what now becomes of this Emirates? What becomes of dear Kano? We can't afford to allow these two men from the same family to be played by the puppet strings of politicians. Because in all of this, when you extrapolate it, it's just a clear politics between Ganduje and Kwankwaso. Let's not deceive ourselves. So we should be careful as regards what's happening in Kano.
Thank you so very much, Rufai Oseni. Appreciate you for talking to us this morning.
Bless you. I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. All right, there are some other stories that I would want to touch on. All right, some other great big headlines, I would also want to touch on. That's the Sun newspaper. The Sun newspaper is quite heavy this morning. It is really, really sunny with a couple of headlines. Heavy headlines this morning. Well, the first one is that the presidency is under fire over new presidential jet. And of course, showdown looms in Rivers as Fubara directs heads of administration to take charge of 23 local government areas. And we also have here Igbos not going back on relocating businesses to Southeast. IPOB replies Yoruba elders. Igbos not going back on relocating businesses to the Southeast. IPOB replies Yoruba elders. And of course, worsening economic crunch spikes cholera cases. Worsening economic crunch spikes cholera cases, I beg your pardon. And of course, Gandhi Sanwo-Olu others to launch APC's skills development training program. Yeah, I would want to break it down. This particular story, I'd love to break it down so we can get what is really playing out. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has urged Igbos living in Lagos State to reject a purported letter written by some stakeholders calling for dialogue between the Igbos and Yoruba residents in Lagos. Spokesman of the group, Ima Powerful, in a statement claimed that the dialogue was only meant to lure the Igbo traders in the state from changing their minds about relocating their investment to the southeast. Given reasons for rejecting the dialogue, Powerful said Igbos have always been victims of any crisis in the state and other parts of the country, hence their decision to relocate their businesses to their zone. In quote, he said, Igbo must not fall into any deception to continue investment in Lagos State hands well, it's okay. Let's leave it there. Just want to give you a pinch of what is happening there. I'll give you some more stories, okay? I'll give you some more stories, but then this is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, and I will love to read all of your messages, all of your comments, your observation, your query, everything. I want to read them this morning. Yeah, just run to our WhatsApp portal and drop a message for me, and I'll get to read it quickly in real time. 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338. That's the WhatsApp number. Then if you want to call in, 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Keep all of your comments very, very civil, the way we like it, and just about 60 seconds for everyone. Move away from your radio set or turn down the volume to avoid the noise so we can hear each other and have a very beautiful conversation this morning. Like I said, 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. Thank you so very much. Let's get to the phone lines now. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
This is Victor. First and foremost.
What's your name again and where you calling from?
Victor.
Okay, Victor. All right, let's go.
First and foremost, I read in the Bible that righteousness exalts a nation. All institutions, most of them, if not all, there's no truth. They are corrupt. That's what we are facing in this country. For example, if you plant a corn and you are expecting to grape beans is never. There's no truth. That's the problem. That's the result of what you are facing. All institutions, most of them, there's no truth. They are trying to do what is wrong. So, number one, then I'm begging, if the truth is bitter, so we hate to speak or to do the right things at the right time. That's why we are facing all these problems. God has blessed this country, but those who are in charge are doing what is not true. Lastly, before I drop the phone, if the government, especially from the president, can sacrifice all the benefits we are enjoying now, because they are saying the masses should be patient and to sacrifice. Both of the president and the Senate and the House of Representatives and all who are in government, they should also sacrifice by reducing what they are earning or all the benefits. They actually buying the jets now. It's not good. It's not good. It's not. Thank you, Judy. Judy.
Thank
well
you.
Done.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate your call. Let's do more calls this morning. Like I said, be as brief as possible so we can take as many calls as possible. 0700 903 903 903. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Children.
Good morning.
This is Mr. Tony from Kadu.
Welcome.
Yeah, based on some of the stories that have been out this morning, I am somebody who is not into politics and who is into economic situation of the country. I always talk about one particular thing, and that is what is worrying us mostly here in the north, which is security. Yeah, people have been celebrating, people have been rejoicing and happy, but are they really happy about the situation of things in the country? I always link the increase in food price to the insecurity that we face here in the north. People can hardly go to their farms. People can hardly cultivate their farms because the security right here, most especially in the north, is not top-notch. So we always want to beg, we always want to plead, we always want to urge the federal, state, and local governments to please pay more attention on security so that we can always get what we want, most especially when it comes to food production. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a nice day.
Appreciate you. Thank you so very much. All right. Okay. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Judy. It's Judy.
I bring you good greetings this morning.
God bless you. God bless you. My name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abana, Benin.
Let's go.
I want to speak on River State.
All right.
We can now see the reason why the National Assembly is trying to make a law through the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice that there should be total independence of the local government from the state governors. We can now see the reason. You see, in the Constitution, there's no place where there's capital committee. The governor has no right to establish or institute any capital committee in any local government. Be that as it may, the 27 led assembly, half assembly members that have just been declared null and void by their speakers have said that you have anticipated this problem and have extended the life of the state, the local government to 6 months. And that is mandate. That should be what should happen. Now remember, we should be successful because this case will definitely go to the Supreme Court. And when we go to the Supreme Court, we now know whether the House Assembly members are right or wrong, whether they be there or not. So let it be left to the Supreme Court to decide. For the governor to do this, that means is being backed by some people who want to keep up the policy unnecessarily. And the federal government may come in to declare state emergency if there is not taken. because River State is very, very important to Nigeria, as the fact that they produce the crude oil or one of the things that produce it. So it is very, very important. If the federal government should declare such an emergency, nobody should blame Bola Ahmed Tinubu for doing that. So the fight is not yet over. The status quo should remain. And what is the status quo? That the local government people should continue. The chairman should continue.
Okay. Hello? Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Okay? Sorry. You can call back. But I think it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903 Lagos. Good morning to you.
Hello, Jude. Igame Jude. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning to you this morning.
Yeah, Peter Omonse is my name from Shomolu.
Good to have you join us.
Jude, what is Tinubu going to do in South Africa to attend inauguration of Ramaphosa? I beg, when he get there, they should not give him any microphone to talk. They should just tell him to go and ask the electoral umpire there. How did he conduct the election? How many cleages did they experience? He should go there and ask Ramaphosa which Supreme Court declared him the winner. That's what he should go and ask and come back to Nigeria. He should not speak on anything there. And Labour Party is telling us that INEC mismanaged 2023 election. That mismanagement brought the result that we are paying the price now. As I key into also with what a clergy says, that Tinubu has failed Nigerians. He has not only failed Nigerians, he has disappointed Nigerians, he has destroyed the economic life of Nigerians. Families can never eat again. I am telling you the truth. Jude, I know you are a Nigerian, you would have been moving around, or you have been getting results and reports from your people that some Nigerians just find it difficult to eat one meal. And then we are told that Nigeria is experiencing the worst economic meltdown in generations. Do you see what the APC has done to Nigerians? Do you see what Tinubu has done to Nigerians? And with the insensitivity, they are talking about private jet. When Nigerians are looking for fuel, you promise us 4 refineries, APC. You cannot build one. You promised us 40,000 megawatt of electricity. We are still grappling with 1,900, 2,000. And then Nigerians cannot get prepaid meter. You want to waste money? APC and Tinubu, they came to destroy Nigerians. And they have succeeded in doing that. We are just waiting for the day that God will resuscitate Nigeria so that Nigerians can get their life back. These people came to destroy. The wicked destroy. But God will build this country for us. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so very much. Bless you. All right. There are some other stories here, like I said, that I would love to touch on, but then I'm looking at. Okay, I'll take a couple of calls first, then I'll touch on this stories one after the other. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Judy.
Good morning. Good morning.
For you, for more of you.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people shout. They don't even the shame. You can imagine how somebody is going to South Africa to go for inauguration. Well, that's his own trouble. I believe the whole world is watching. The whole world is seeing this. But my take on this is that I just like what we're suffering now. Like I keep telling people here that everybody should just relax and we should just give him the second year of his government. Let's see how it goes. But should in case, like what I've been sensitizing people, I won't tell you lie. The way I sensitize people to tune to your station, to always follow your station, which they are doing, that's the same way I sensitize people to calm down. Let's just give him on that additional year. But if at the end of the day, if at the end of this is regime, and they try to do what they did last time in the election, it will not be easy. I mean myself, no, it will not be easy for anybody. For anybody that thinks that Nigeria will go backward. If at the end of the day now, we now go for that election, maybe we go for that presidential election, and they tried only attempt for them to want to do any rigging, that time they will see what will happen to them. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Appreciate your call. Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning, Mr. Kamijude.
Good morning.
My name is Chuka Chude.
All right.
Yes, I want to express my perspective on the declaration by IPOP that there's no going back on Southeasterners relocating their businesses to the Southeast. I do not think they have a compelling voice on all Igbos to relocate their businesses.
Okay.
Because by so doing, they are attracting hostility to Igbo in the country. and there's no ethnic group that does their business in their own ethnic area. So I think it is wrong for IPOP to making such declaration. Let them not attract hostility to people. Those who want to relocate can relocate. But they should also bear in mind that the East does not have shores, coastal shores, where they can, bring out their goods. So they have to think about transportation. So it is cost effectiveness of the relocation that is also very, very critical. Those who want to relocate, let them relocate. But I don't think it was need that for to tell them that they must relocate their business to the south. It's not done anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. So it's not a unanimous thing, right? I understand your points perfectly. But then, let's see how it all plays out. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
This is Shegun from Moshe.
Okay, let's go.
God bless Nigeria. God save Nigeria. God rescue Nigeria. God deliver Nigeria. Please, sir, I'm just calling for the government to know that people are suffering. Fela sang a song, suffering and smiling. We are not smiling, no. He's suffering and crying, suffering and dying. There's no food to eat. Drugs is on the high side. Some people are using drugs, any type of drugs, they cannot afford it because there's no money to buy the drugs. There's no money to feed. So they should kindly have mercy. They should have mercy. They should have love and kindness. They should show it to the masses, those who are in the power. They are living in a big way, So they should put us in their own way and think. They should not forget, nothing is permanent, Nothing is permanent. No situation, no circumstances. Very one day, they will leave that post. Thank you, sir. Jude, Jude. Thank you.
Thank you so very much for calling. I appreciate your call. Let's do more calls. A couple of calls coming in, but then there are some information I want to just bring you quickly as regards what is happening in Nigeria. A couple of them, though, Tinubu's reforms meant to refocus economy for sustainable growth. This is according to Okwara State Governor. A couple of stories there, but then I would want to touch on just go around these particular one that caught a couple of persons have been asking me this question. I think I should just touch on it immediately. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP in last year's general elections, Peter Obi, has upbraided the federal government for contemplating the purchase of some new aircraft to add to the presidential fleet. Obi said the move was unacceptable and a clear show of insensitivity to the suffering of the Nigerian people. He wrote, he said, at a time when our country is on the front page of global newspapers for facing its worst economic crisis marked by high inflation, a falling currency, and of course widespread poverty, the federal government is contemplating buying new presidential jets. He said this demonstrates extreme insensitivity to citizen struggles. With rising insecurity, poverty, hunger, and hopelessness, this decision highlights the disconnect that is apparent between the government and the people. That's what Peter Obi said. It is so very, unacceptable. Let's talk to you. Good morning.
Jude, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Morning. I'll be calling since, but you don't want to pick my call. I don't know why. If it is Cordelia, you will pick my call.
You offended me now. That's why I'm not taking your call.
Why?
You offended me. Do I know why? I don't know. But you just offended me.
It can be due that you are trickish.
It's all right.
So let me go to my say this morning.
Yeah.
You see, I keep on asking this question every day. This thing that we are saying, are you sure that these people, they are listening to us?
Of course. Why not?
Okay, if they are listening to us, why are they planning to buy 2 private jets, one for the president, one for the vice president? At the same time, and Nigeria are dying for hunger, and they are planning to renovate vice president apartment, 21 billion naira. Why all this? Why are they living flamboyant life? Why Nigerians are dying? Nigerians cannot afford even 10,000 naira to go to hospital, buy drugs, this and that. Why? Why all these things? It doesn't mean that these people, they don't have a human feeling. I keep on asking these questions every day. Buhari said the other day that farmers should go back to farm. Wildlife is the one that causing all this problem. How can farmer goes to farm? You know, farmer goes to farm now, they may not come back alive, or they will be paying a tithe to Boko Haram or bandit or all those people. See tomato, you cannot go to market now and buy tomato. Precious was saying yesterday, three pieces of tomato is 1,000 naira. Could you imagine?
And of course, I'm sure you've heard the tuber of yam is now 10,000, 11 or 12,000, depending on the size.
Yes, I priced yam last week. It's 11,000 naira. A tuber of yam, 11,000 naira. Yes, I'm aware of that. So why all these things happening in this country? Are we are not fighting war and it's like this? What of those that are fighting war? Is it like this? President Tinubu is planning to go to inauguration of Sapora in South Africa. When he get there, let him ask the president that how many people died during the election. It can be due there. That's my stake this morning. So deliver my message to them.
I will immediately.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Ikan calling you from Isolo Kingdom.
Welcome.
Ebuke aburizi mamidat ase como that the madman do not know shame. It is only the family that he belongs to. Now you just said it that the president is going to South Africa for the South Africa inauguration. Please, I want to ask, did the South African president came to Nigeria when Tinubu was inaugurated? I want to know, please. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please just continue, please. Just go ahead.
Okay. Maybe my memory did not serve me. I couldn't remember whether the South African president was here. But he's going there after free, fair, credible, and accepted election in South Africa. And what we have here in 2023 was a bleak election. And the person who conducted that election, a shamble election, is still walking the street free. With the amount of money being given to him, nobody has asked him to come accounted for it. What a wasteful nation.
All right. Thank you.
Is it how we are going to go about it? Earlier on, they were telling us that the president did not come to use Nigerian money. But as soon as he came into power, he bought a judge, he bought a Muslim. They have done all these things at the expense of Nigerian money. Is that how a country is going to grow? It's so sad.
Thank you.
So sad.
Thank you.
Let's
leave it there quickly. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. This morning, let me let you know that Ejiro Mukoro is just with us this beautiful morning. We need to talk to her.
Hello.
Beautiful morning to you this morning.
Jide, how you doing?
I'm fine. I just
That is, I was under the weather and the matter can't last fast as I expect. But it's good to be here with everyone. I greet all the VOP people. I hope you're all doing great.
Exactly, doing great. But then but let's start from here quickly because we have just little time. Nigerians have asked.
Go on.
Look, I want to hear. No, to throw away your own first.
Okay, so I think this big conversation about the where FG is summoning 80 private jet owners over operating papers regarding import duty as regards jets, airlines. I think private jets, that is. I think it's a very important conversation to talk about because many of them have begun to exploit the temporary import papers, permits rather, that allows them that, okay, like when you do business for the first 6 months, depending if it's a limited liability company, or even a small business, they give you a chance of 6 months grace. Set up yourself, make some small benefits, because you're just starting your business. We want you to succeed. So they also get their own 12 months of permit, right? That is the temporary import permit from the Nigerian Customs Service, so that they can, instead of paying the statutory import duty on their imported aircraft, which would be like 5% of the total cost of the aircraft is there. And that's quite a lot of money if you know how much jets cost these days. I know that I was approached by a number of persons who wanted to sell their jets because there was a frenzy of people who just wanted to do away with the jets. Why? Because after having that valid initial period of 12 months where you really don't pay anything, you can actually extend it by another 6 months twice. So for 2 years, many people will bring in these jets from outside Nigeria, avoid paying the temporary import permit, and then for another 6 months, 2 years, they don't pay any import permit. And they were making a racket out of it. It was a beautiful game. They were doing deals with so many persons. They come to the airports, private offers. You don't even know it's happening. People are having a great time. So they were making money in a certain way without trying to pay back to the federal government. But if after doing it for 2 years, you've made enough money for 2 years, and if your long-term goal is to be sustainable, right, and to be lasting in the business, then it means that if for 2 years you have not paid this money, what is wrong with you not trying to pay the money if you've already gotten a business strategy, right, a revenue funnel that you know how to get your clientele and sell your businesses? It's unfair to try to rip off the federal government. But that also shows something about how our Nigerian federal government are perceived in terms of when taxes are collected and people are looking for innovation. So why are many Nigerians, why are they not giving to paying taxes? Why are even multinationals also very evasive of paying taxes? Because when they pay so much of these taxes, it often goes into the private pocket of an individual or a few persons. It does not lead to development of the country. You don't see extraordinary road infrastructure or flyovers that make Lagos from stopping being a slum. You don't see development in other parts of the country where they fly these jets to, where they make all of this money and these import duties. And the same conversation, if you go to our borders these days, I remember how at a point in time, the Badagry-Lagos border was such a sustainable border where monies were made and returns to the government were made. But as time went by, all of the monies, the import duties or whatever they were collecting at those borders, they started going into private people's pockets. They were not even going into the federal government purse, which raised our issue of personal accountability as a people, as a country, that regulation is very key. Transparency and accountability in our revenue is very key if development is ever going to happen. So for me, that's a big one I just wanted to talk about for the first time. Okay. Do you have something else you have?
Yes, of course. Nigerians have asked the president, to lead by example after saying that Nigeria, needed sacrificing citizens to fulfill the dreams of its founding fathers. In turn, they're telling him, Oga, you have to lead by example. They also tax the president to ask those directly working under him, like the ministers, the advisors, and heads of agencies, as well as governors, at the subnational level and other people in position of authority, to also lead by example, saying sacrifice must start from top to bottom instead of the other way around. You remember top to bottom? From top to bottom. Top to bottom.
They know well.
It's true now.
The thing is this. So when I first heard the word sacrifice, I felt whoever told him to use those words in his speech writing did not do justice to the sensibilities and sensitivities of Nigerians. Nigerians have sacrificed enough. 60 years plus is a long time. We're going to another almost 70 since independence. It's a long time. To be demanding it of Nigerians is unfair on a number of levels, because one, we have over 200 million, about 100 million plus children who are not going to school because parents cannot afford to pay for school fees, even though Nigeria as a country is one where the children are not supposed to pay school fees. So that's on the one hand.
Okay.
And then you have a situation where insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria, as well as the Niger Delta and every other part of Nigeria in the east and in the south and in the west, are also battling with all of these various forms of insecurity. And he is living in a palatial environment where he is protected 24/7 with bodyguards, as well as every other kind of intel, that intelligence system and networks that ensures his protection. He feeds 24/7. Whether he chooses to eat or not is not relevant, but he lives in opulence. So you cannot be in Aso Rock, right, and tell Nigerians to sacrifice. Nigerians are coping with situations where farmers can't even sell their produce, right, because the road from the farm to the center of market has nothing to write home about. They cannot survive it. The cars break down. And then you have a situation where people produce, we had this conversation because I do a lot of investigation.
Okay.
And I was going around, and one of the things I discovered is that there's so much orange produced in Nigeria. Did you know that? There's so much oranges are produced in Nigeria. Well, what happens to these oranges? They are not disposed, or rather, they are not, what's the word? They are not deployed. There's a better word I want to use, but they are not sent to the right people who want to buy them in high numbers. Because one, the truck to deliver them is a problem. Two, the capacity to put them in a sustainable truck, for example, where they can be kept well before they arrive at their various destinations, it's nothing to write home about. You see them in open trucks like that. So by the time the oranges are coming from where they are harvested, for example, 2, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, as the case may be, these oranges are no longer as healthy as they should be, and their vitamins are no longer as fresh as they should be. So why is this the case? A situation where you cannot have 24 hours light, right? And then you now have the Nigerian federal distribution, electricity distributors, right? Are now trying, the Gencos and all of them, they are all trying to now exploit at very exploitative rates in terms of the provision of electricity. People cannot store these oranges. Now, what happens is foreign nationals now come and buy this in large numbers, and then they put it into juices for us. Now, these juices that they produce for us, often when you taste this juice, these orange juices you taste, most of the time, I don't want to mention any brand, most of the time when you taste this juice, you will know that it is actually more like 20% real juice, then 80% whatever chemicalized kind of juice or processed juice they want to add to it as flavor, as sweeteners, or anything, they will add to the entire packet. That is because we are wasting so much juice. I know of a juice company that started in Nigeria as strictly pure orange juice. It was not sustainable because the transportation from where the plants are to where you are supposed to actually harvest them in the sense of produce them and mass produce them and squeeze out the juice, the distance is a lot. And where you're going to keep them in terms of refrigeration and things like that are also not sustainable. It costs a lot. So I expect that at this point in time, no president should ever speak to Nigerians to ever again make sacrifices. We have done enough. We need a country where there are regulatory frameworks, where landlords do not exploit tenants and say, "I not send you, if you no pay, waka go, somebody else go pay." It is unfair. We want regulatory frameworks where you will see to it that teachers who do have no business teaching, lecturers who are not effective in lecturing are sent out packing. And that's why the civil service code must be reviewed, because if these people are not performing, sack them, so that we can have effective people who want to be doing the job to do the job, not reward bad behavior and lack of service with complete full salaries. Then we need a situation where our even the nature of how we operate our governance system, the local government needs its autonomy. It must be free to do what it needs to do. The executive cannot have control over the local government and tell them how they should run their affairs, such that even the state INEC, as it were, cannot even function independently of them. A situation where judiciaries are now bought over. It is such a egregious situation of crime where we see that our judges are already bought over, majority are bought over. We don't want that situation. So at the end of the day, when we look at the situation on ground here, we just want him to make Nigeria work, make sure the inflation rate drops, make sure the banks are not exploiting us like they have done with the borrowers, the anchor borrowers money, where they are actually deducting money that they are not supposed to deduct. I am happy that GT Bank has taken all these other 13 banks to court against this violation. And that is how we must all begin to hold ourselves accountable. And Nigerians, let us know that we are the ones to putting ourselves to some extent. We are contributors to our own suffering.
All right. One more thing I want to talk about is this drug issue in Lagos. Nigerians are struggling because of the high drug prices, fueling health crisis. The information reaching me now says for patients in Lagos now, though, the outrageous cost of life-saving drugs is a daily burden. Several people are now forced to take a risk with their health by extending or missing doses, settling for less potent, substitutes, resulting to self-medication or traditional, healers, or, stopping medications entirely. When you go out there to find out how much people buy drugs, I don't want to mention any particular brand, but then it's becoming something else. And the federal government is not even talking about it.
This is part of the distortion I captured in my book, Distortion, because Nigeria has become a distorted society. The problem is this. I miss Dora Akunleye. I miss that woman with every fiber of my being, because Dora was a woman who understood her assignment. She was a minister who understood that when you don't regulate drugs properly, and the Standard Organization of Nigeria, I don't know what they are doing, where anyhow drugs can penetrate our Nigerian borders into this country, whether by air, by land, by road, by road now, land now the same thing, by water or by train, or whatever means that they seem to get into, by air, they seem to get in through this country. So NAFDAC, right, have not been doing their job effectively. A situation where NAFDAC has become a point where anybody can settle NAFDAC so that their drugs are allowed in. I think NAFDAC needs to work on that image, right? They need to do better, because the perception right now is that anyhow anything goes. Then we have the Consumer Protection Agency, and the Consumer Protection Agency has its work cut out for it. This is why I keep talking about regulatory framework and monitors and evaluators. These bodies, remember, NAFDAC didn't used to be known as NAFDAC that time. It was known as the Directorate. It was a Directorate of Food and Drugs back then. It is not too long after they brought in Dora Akunleye. That's why they named it NAFDAC. So your job now means that there is a law that empowers you to do the needful. That is on the one hand. So a situation where our drugs are more expensive, if there's anywhere to be subsidy in this country, it's drugs that need subsidy, not fuel, not petrol. You cannot even track, you cannot even manage. They will carry the petrol from Nigeria. They will go and sell it to people, or they will break pipelines and vandalism.
A lot of things need subsidy in this country. Needs to be subsidized.
So our drugs need better kinds of subsidy. But another thing is this: the pharmaceuticals, we are not giving them an enabling business environment to thrive. You know how many pharmaceuticals have left Nigeria and gone to Ghana, right?
A whole lot
and go to other parts of the of African countries that are more tolerant, that are the ease of business is fantastic, no exploitation, where we have turned advertising into the only source of revenue for federal government, so that even if you put ordinarily your name of your company, everybody wants to come and milk your company for just putting a signage in front of your company. So we're a country where we don't love ourselves enough. Make we just talk true. Because the truth be say, if there is love in our way of life as a people, politicians will not be hitting our head against each other. Politicians will not be exploiting us and expect us to suffer, even when you are crying, hey, your knee is on my neck, I cannot breathe. They will not be doing all that to us. And then, for God's sake, our people in the East, big Orono, hell, the rate at which they produce this fake drug is insane. If you remember Dora Kunli's fight, it was in the East that it was very prevalent. And until now, it is still the same thing, based on my investigation and based on my book that I wrote. Because if you go there, the rate at which they manufacture fake look-alike drugs is insane. So the regulatory bodies need to do their job. This is why I said, as far as I am concerned, our fundamental problem, one of them is the fact that our regulatory frameworks and regulators and monitors are not working. From the environmentalists. So, for example, we wrote a story about cholera outbreak in Lagos. Why is cholera breaking out? Imagine somebody who is a seller of corn or fruits and things like that, and where you have situated what you want to sell is on top of gutter. How will you not suffer from cholera and other airborne diseases and other dirty, contaminated related diseases? Do you understand? So our preventative approach to even survival is very poor. Our maintenance culture is very poor. We don't know how to take preventative steps, you understand, to protect. For example, look at the gutters. Do you know how dirty Lagos is? Anytime I'm in Lagos, I'm so sick at the sick. Anytime I come to Lagos, I go sick one kind of sickness. And by the time I come back from Lagos, the recovery to recover from the dirty air, the dirty water, the dirty environment, it takes a lot out of me before I recover. So our people in Lagos must understand that maybe only Thursday should be the cleanliness day of environmental day, or Saturday once in a week. No. Cleanliness is a daily business. Our gutters should be clean every day. Our dirty, where would they remove, where would they sell? We go pack them, put them inside nylon, then dispose it properly. Then the environmental sanitation officers too, they must make sure that the trucks come in at the right time to dispose and take away all those dustbins and whatever waste that has been gathered. Make we learn cleanliness. We need to sit up as a people. If you clean, you no go sick, and no pharmacy go come they exploit you. Fake drugs at least will drop.
Thank you. Well, Ejiro Mukura, I want to say thank you so very much. Thank you, and thank you again for talking to us.
I greet my people, voice of people.
You can say that again. Do have a great day today.
You too, darling. Take care.
All right. Okay, this is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, and it is the Front's paid review. We do these every day. Okay? Yeah. Between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. Okay? My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. And let's see if we could read let's read a couple of your messages now and then take your calls back to back this time around before we wrap things up. Okay, shall we roll? Yeah, as regards cholera outbreak, Benjamin from Shogunle is saying that the Lagos state government is not doing much to contain cholera outbreak in Lagos. Today we see people rearing livestock in residential houses and so on, cows and rams and all of these things, thereby littering all the places, which can cause cholera outbreak. The former governor of Lagos State, Raji Fashola Anambode, stopped rearing of animals like cows and rams in residential houses during their tenure, and everywhere in Lagos was neat. But today, the reverse is the case. We see open defecation in most parts of Lagos, and the Lagos government should make public toilets available to avoid open defecation, which can cause cholera outbreak and stop people from rearing livestock in residential houses. Thank you so much, Benjamin. Good morning, everyone in the house. I don't know why APC and their followers sees Peter Obi as their number one enemy in Nigeria. How can A responsible government thinking of buying new aircraft by this time. The Nigerians are going through hell. Can this government be reasonable for once? We all own this country together. We are in democracy, so every opinion matters a lot. He said he's not a Nigerian. After grabbing power now, you don't even know how to make use of the power, only to attack people. Martins Duru, aka Mayor from Ikotunwegbe, sent in that message. Thank you so very much. Okay, from HRHB Shimoko, he said that this issue of cholera is a matter of great concern. People are now eating rubbish in the name of food, and the consequences are becoming like wildfire. Please, government should do something urgently to stop the spread. I'll take more of your calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Judah. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Zerena calling from Spain.
From Spain?
Yes, Ali.
All right.
How are you?
Great.
Please, how is Cordelia doing?
She's great. She should be around anytime soon.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Because this is the woman that always gives me joy every morning.
So
I pray for God to touch her to bounce back again.
Your joy giver.
Yes.
Okay.
So today,
talk to me.
Yeah, I want to just even I concur with this Peter, my brother Peter Monse, concerning Tinubu visit to South Africa. For them not to give him mic to talk, I concur with him. Then on this jet these people want to buy again. This Jajero, this is the time. This is not only on salary. This is the time to shut down Nigeria. If these people make any attempts of buying this thing, it should mobilize people. Just preach to people about electric tariff and all these things. This is what they do in this part of the world. See? They should shut down. If Nigeria, they should even people preaching for this to give 2 years. Are they going to? Will they people survive to that time? That 2 years. They should at least. Once this man will keep every time buying what is not supposed. At least they should let. At least they should not let him be. So concerning, let me touch this thing before I round up. Concerning Ejiro, I always appreciate her, but there's something she doesn't this thing. Because there was a time she said people should go out. Once this would not do well, people should go out and vote them out in 2017 and 2027. I asked if Ejiro is not in Nigeria to see what happened in that last election. And they're calling people to just sack anybody. Who will sack the government that is not doing well? Sack anybody. Can you imagine they said the teacher, they pay a teacher 8,000 euro in northern Nigeria. If you're a teacher, can you just teach anybody? If you try to let them understand what you are teaching. You are paying, who will sack the government that is not doing well? Is it only the people?
Right.
They should pay people to do well. That is the thing. They should not be even condemn. Just about the government first. They should design if they cannot do anything. That's how they do in this part of the world.
Thank you.
Today, have a great day, my brother.
And you too.
My greeting to Cordelia.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear from her before this week runs out.
Appreciate.
Okay. Take care, my brother.
All right. Okay. OC Morale at 9 Brigade military cantonment. Thank you so very much. Okay. Good morning, Judah. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. I wish Cordelia a quick recovery. My president should fly commercial flight. He says he feels what we feel. Kenyan president fly commercial flight. Argentinian president sold a presidential private jet to better the country's economy. So what is wrong with our own? Actually, Tinubu has failed Nigerians. He fought for democracy alongside with MK Abiola. His name will not be... what are you trying to say? Okay. Thank you so very much, Papa. Thank you so very much. I will be careful. I'll be careful. Thank you. He said I should be mindful of my mental health and particularly the latest disease in town, cholera. Thank you so very much. People will like me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's talk to you. Good morning to you. Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Yeah, Jide. Good evening. This is Ben from USA.
Okay, it's morning right here. Good morning from Lagos, Nigeria. It's okay.
I mean, it's morning. Yeah, it's like 3:16 over here.
It's okay.
Yeah. Hey, I hear everybody complaining about, the federal government should do something, complaining about different stuff. Let me tell them the simple truth, all right? So Nigeria wasn't this bad until the federal government decided to hold Nnamdi Kanu. You understand? I mean, things it was bad, but it wasn't this bad, all right? Now, the rot of holding one innocent man has actually destroyed Nigeria. And until they realize that simple truth, I'm telling you, it does not matter what the people complain about. The federal government should do this. The federal government is like a curse. It's like a curse given to Nigeria. Like, when you kill an innocent man, or a lot of stuff will keep happening to you. They should release Nnamdi Kanu. I keep telling. Then maybe Nigeria can start, taking a different shape. Why? Because the southeast is the heart of Nigeria. That Nigeria is progressing. You remember the first time is because of the southeasterners. They go to north, they go to south, they go to different places, they do businesses. But when the people's mind is well biased and they feel discriminated, my brother, no matter how they complain, rich Nigeria will never be fine. You understand? No matter how they complain, rich, no matter the level of, even if P2B win today and they decide to hold Nnamdi Kanu, all right, the same thing will keep going on, because even our children, the young ones growing up, their mind is becoming biased and it's getting worse every day. People are seeing what is going on in Nigeria, both from diaspora and everywhere. So it's very important that Nigeria start thinking about this. The future in the next 20 years, how will Nigeria look like? Because the next 20 years, my unborn child will become 20 years and will live to see the same story and what is going on. And they will never have good mindset about Nigeria.
All right.
That's my take.
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you. Okay. This person is saying, good morning, VOP. Please tell President Tinubu hunger is in the land. Or one pint of beans now is 10K. It's not a joke again. Let them release Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. That man did not do anything. Evan Sikuku from Isolo Jakonde Estate sent in that message. Thank you so very much. This renewed hope now. Wow. Tinubu government can't increase minimum wage, but they have money to buy private jet. Please, I'm asking, is this the renewed hope? Casey Onwoha, Ojo from Ojo Alaba. Thank you. Let's see if we can read this other one. Sir Edwin Clark has publicly advised Tinubu to release MNK, but Tinubu kept mute. I'm just confused about the reputed Yoruba cherished culture of respect, listening and taking advice from respected elders. Sir Clark is a merited national elder with undisputed integrity. My humble question is why Tinubu is not listening to one of the few non-tribalistic national figures left in Nigeria, like Sir Edwin Clark. Costaino from Olodi Papa sent in that message. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your Excellency.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, this is Remy.
Hi, Remy. It's been a while, man.
Man, you guys are bloody popular. I was at Oslo Airport yesterday, and I just heard your voice. I was like, who is that person? What are they hearing here? Apparently, I was like, this one, Mr. Ngana, this guy, send us a location. I was impressed. I was impressed. Well done, guy. Well done to you, to you and all your team.
Thank you.
You see, Obasanjo wearing somebody's cap, this and that. I mean, those the people who know Obasanjo well. They said there was a PDP chairman when Obasanjo was in power. Obasanjo went to his house. The guy cooked for him, and immediately after eating that guy's food, he had to ask him to resign. So Obasanjo's behavior, forget all these things. I don't really care about what he wear and who he visited. What I so much care about, bro, is the state of Nigeria. Okay? Now, it shows that the leadership of this country care less about its people. Okay? Papa, I beg, see, look around. Society where you have stability, it is one thing that is different. Society where you have stability, you have equality, you have circulation of wealth. People have something to do. Okay, that in the Scandinavia, you can be that country. I mean, Norway is one of the countries with the lowest rate of crime. Okay, and the difference between us and them is that when their police get to work, most of the time they just go and play Ludo, because oftentimes there's no crime to report because people have something to do. Now, in this case, I need you to please tell me 5 million children out of school. If anybody can convince me that it is not a stupid thing to have 5 million children out of school, that the buying of jets should be more important than having 5 million children out of school. If you can convince me that it's not a silly thing to do, I will buy you breakfast. So we know where the problem is coming from. If we can address inequality, if we can address poverty, it will be unnecessary investing billions of dollars fighting insecurity, because the sole influence of insecurity is poverty. And if you don't address that, spend anything on fighting insecurity, you will fail at the end of the day.
Thank you, Remy. I appreciate you, Remy. Thank you. All right. This person is saying, can't the place in presidential fleet be given first-class refurbishment? This is in view of the present economic situation of Nigeria. Also, insecurity position of the country needs urgent attention. Chima from Surulere. President Tinubu and APC must show leadership by doing what is right in the case of purchasing new aircraft for the presidential fleet. After buying new vehicles, renovating houses, and not agreeing with labor, they must jettison this wrong move. Osadebe in Shasha. Mwaje, right? Is that the right pronunciation of that name? It's okay. Lagos cholera outbreak is possible. Please visit Lagos Island and see some water pipes laid inside dirty gutters. And some of the pipes have leakages and germs are entering inside the water pipes easily. It's true, man. It's true. I think I've seen that. I have not seen Peter Osifo talk anything about his own Edo State. I wouldn't know. It's okay. Leave that alone. Okay. I asked why did we not hear from Ejiro today? She's supposed to analyze the headlines. Really missing her touch. You don't hear Ejiro now. Where you do? Where you go? From my observation of what is happening in Nigeria, it's obvious that this suffering and hunger will continue because the government is not doing anything serious. The insecurity won't go anyway soon because they are not discussing it. I simply pray that Nigeria, or that God will intervene and rescue Nigeria. The suffering is too much. Okay, it's okay. Adeyemi Kamoru from Satellite. IPOP telling Igbos to relocate to Biafra land. Obi Kubana move his business from southeast to Lagos because of insecurity. There's no right thinking president that will take IPOP serious. Really? Okay. Well, Senate should approve the loan for presidency to buy more private jets to show their total loyalty to the executive. It's okay. South Africa should withdraw their invitation from Tinubu because he doesn't need to be there. Please, free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, we have to go now. Regarding cholera outbreak, I'm writing from K2 Ijaniki in Ojo local government area. You won't believe that our gutters doesn't flow. It was connected to any canal. Thank you. Everyone, my name is Jude. It can be Jude. Up next is Ogendigo. Here is the beautiful princess of Igbo land, just right here in the studios of VOP.
How was your night?
I'm fine.
Barka de Salah.
Barka de Salah. I don't see meat. I don't see meat.
Ide Kabir is still there on now. You know get neighbor we be Muslim.
I know get to.
You know get. Have you listened to that Idris to Karim new song? Emileko.
It is. It is fire. It is fire.
The lyrics. Guy, this one past Jaga Jaga that he sang during OBJ's government.
Somebody tell me say they go arrest that guy.
Guy, with the wit. He drag Adebayo. Many people. He said, Adebayo, you know do 1 million match again. You do and during good Lord Jonathan time. Why you know if he come do 1 million match now?
Hey, well, Tochiku one them. You are looking very sumptuous. What is that?
It means God will bless you.
Amen. Amen. Everyone, my name is Jude. Ikami Jude. I'm out of here. Thank you so very much for doing this with me this morning. It will continue tomorrow, same time, okay? On Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. I am Ikami Jude. It spells IKAMIJUDEH. Put it together, just one word. I love you so much. Do have a beautiful and a wonderful day today. I'm out of here. Good morning.
Dear valued listener, we believe in free speech, but with freedom comes responsibility.